Hey everyone, I'm Patrick Jones, and welcome to episode 50 of That Gives Me Anxiety. Man, I'm really proud of that. It's a lot of work to do this on top of having a day job and a life and a family. But it is also a lot of fun, and I get a lot from it, so still, 50 is 50. I'm actually recording this part a little bit earlier than I usually do. I'm going to be traveling for work and partially for a vacation, heading out to Utah for the first time for work. Also took a bit of time off so that I can go do some hiking down in Moab, which I'm cautiously pronouncing as Moab. It's Moab. But I've really never been to a national park, and I'm going to be down there doing some hiking, which is thrilling. I'm so excited to be able to do that. And so yeah, I'm going to be going there, and then Jamie and I are going to Miami for a little vacation time. It's also, she's going to be working. So partially vacation. Oh man, I'm so excited. Anyway, I've got a great episode lined up. We're going to have a bit of fun today. We're going to be talking about movies that we like, but a lot of other people don't. And the anxiety that causes to confess to liking movies that a lot of people don't. To help me out, I have Titus Peoples, who will tell you that is his real name. It's a great name. And the two movies we're talking about are Freddy Got Fingered and Bubble Boy, which was wild to go back and watch those two movies. But before we get to Titus, I want to remind you, if you're liking the show, to please remember to rate and review it. Review it? You can check the show out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, or YouTube. YouTube is where you get the videos. Look at my really fun quarter zip. And if you're liking the show and you want to support it and support me, you can make a donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link. It's in the description wherever you are listening. You know, fingers crossed that I'm doing all right now in Moab. Or, actually, I think I'll be flying to Miami. Who knows? I really think you're going to like this episode. It was a lot of fun making it with Titus. So yeah, thank you so much and enjoy. Joining me now on the podcast, I've got Titus Peoples. Titus, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
This has been a long time coming. Like we connected on Instagram a while ago, and like this has required like homework and like a lot of different things here.
Yo, listen. I ain't have to study so much since I took my SAT some 13 years ago.
Right? But it's good. I mean, for the listeners, today's episode is going to be about admitting to movies we like, but most other people probably don't like these movies. So right. Before we get to that, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
Hey, world, my name is Titus Peoples. I'm a screenwriter based in New York City. I've been writing scripts for like about 12 years now. And then like these last 3-4 years, I've gotten a lot of dope opportunities, had a couple of HBO conferences, you know what I mean? Like talking about my scripts and all that. And I have a good chance of getting something greenlit very, very soon.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations. That would be, fingers crossed. That'd be so fucking cool.
Absolutely.
What kind of genre? Like, what are you? Comedy, horror? Like, what are you doing?
All of it. Comedy, horror.
Period.
I can write a little bit of everything.
Yeah, love it. That's awesome. So, in this episode, we're going to be talking about two different movies. So they are Bubble Boy and Freddy Got Fingered. So yeah. Why don't we start with the one that you suggested for this one, Freddy Got Fingered? Tell us a little bit about why you like it.
I like it because, like, first off, can we just start by saying Tom Green grandfathered all this weird internet craziness.
Yeah.
All of the internet antics and stuff like that. Before the internet got super lit, like before the YouTubes, the Instagram, there was a crazy white guy named Tom Green.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, him and his friends in Canada just had like a camera, and I think they had like a public access like late night show, which is hilarious to think that like the guy's like humping a moose or that level of stuff, right? And that's on public access TV.
Yeah, so like Tom Green really just grandfathered everything that you really see on the internet right now. You can't mention antics and craziness without Tom Green. So like we can start there.
Right.
Like Tom Green even predates Jackass.
Oh yeah.
And then right, Jackass is about like 20 years old at this point.
Right. Like they're like 7 movies in.
Right. So Freddy Got Fingered. Freddy Got Fingered. Oh man, like I know where to begin, but Freddy Got Fingered is one of those films that I love because I love absurd comedy, but it's also like when you watch something at 16, you're gonna have a different viewpoint of it at 34. I'm 34 years old. So crazy dick jokes. Well, like, can we curse on him?
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy dick jokes, fart jokes, fuck yous and all that. That's cool when you're 16, but as I was watching it, as in the 34, there's a lot to digest with Tom Green. And I see why. I see why a lot of people stray away from the Tom Green antics and stuff. Cause like you're watching this as an adult and you're like there's no way you found this funny at 16.
Yeah. Well, you're like looking at it from a completely different person. Like the one part that jumps out to me is he's off to California in the car, the LeBaron, and he like sees a horse and just like pulls over and like starts jacking the horse off. It's like, what? It just comes out of nowhere.
Yo, it almost makes you think that this film was filmed with no script. Like, you know what I mean? Just camera rolling. I'm going to see a horse. I'm going to jerk it off because there's so many scenes in that film that just makes no sense.
Yeah. Like the baby, like, the umbilical cord. It's just, oh my God. Like, so, and oh my God.
When his friend breaks his leg on a ramp, instead of calling the ambulance, he goes to lick the guy's like, I was like, yo, how in the hell did any of us find this funny?
Right.
I'm almost certain, even with the way the film was, like the script, that film would have got canceled. Tom Green would have definitely got canceled in today's culture.
Yeah, most likely.
You know what I mean? But Freddy Got Fingered is a crazy one. So Freddy Got Fingered was made for $14 million and only made 14.3 back. So technically, this movie made only $3 million.
Oh, wow. Or 300,000.
Yeah.
Like, 300,000. Oh my gosh. I mean, hey, it didn't flop, I guess.
I mean, most films like this do terrible. People pan them, say these are terrible films. I can say this because it's one of my, like, it grew on me as a kid growing up, but I can truly say with a straight face, and me being a person in the film community, writing scripts, so I could talk bad about this film. This film is probably the worst film of all time. Like, if you compile the list of top 10 worst films, this movie is solid, cemented at 6.
I was like disgusted, you know, like watching it as an adult. Like I was like, man, like why? Like I just kept being like, why is this happening? Like nothing in the script builds on itself. It's just like this thing happens and then that thing happens, and it's just not a cohesive anything.
Definitely not. Definitely.
Yeah. And the other thing about like a comedy is like normally you want people to walk away with like a few quotes or like, you know, everyone walking out of the theater, like, remember when so-and-so said blank, right? Just what are you going to say?
I mean, it does have quotables. That's the sad part. Like, you know what I mean? Like whoever wrote this film definitely wrote some dialogue that can definitely be quoted to this day.
Do you have a for instance?
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Yeah.
Daddy, would you like some sausages? I find myself through life saying that, like for no reason at all. Like,
oh my gosh.
And then the scene where he's in his dad room with the suit on, and the suit is completely the opposite way, and he's doing that little dance. Like I find myself saying stuff.
I'm the backwards man. Yeah.
Yes. That. Oh, and his dad. I'm pretty sure when the actor R.I.P. Rip Torn read the script, he's a very seasoned actor, a very decorated actor. So like, I'm pretty sure Tom Green had to pay a hefty dollar to get a decorated actor like Rip Torn to do a movie like this.
Yeah, 8 million of the 14, something like that, like a big chunk.
Absolutely. Because Rip Torn is not doing this for no peanuts.
Yeah.
Especially if his career is on the line. Like,
it's potentially a career killer, right? It's like, damn, dude.
You know what? I feel like every Hollywood actor has that one film that they're just like, please don't bring this up in the interview. Like, please don't. And I'm pretty sure Freddy Got Fingered for him is that film.
Right. Let's talk about Men in Black. Let's talk about all these other ones, but not Freddy Got Fingered.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
he must have been like friends with the director or something.
Had to.
Yeah.
He probably owed Tom Green, like, you know what I mean? Tom
Gambling
Green
debts.
jumped his car or something on a highway. Like, you know what I mean? Like, something to that extent had to happen. Because great actors don't just do films like this.
No, they don't. No. Yeah, seriously. It's funny that you felt the same way as I did. Like, as a kid, I was into this movie. It was just like absurd. I think it was just like okay with it being absurd. And now as an adult, it's just like, I don't know. It's like, what the fuck?
Nah, but like, you know what it is? When we were kids, we wanted to be Tom Green in a sense. Because like, we love fart jokes, dick jokes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to some extent, like, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure me and you have a good dick joke, but we've never in a million years stopped the car to go jerk off.
No.
A horse. Like, you know.
Oh, been tempted, right? Oh, what temptation.
Word, like, you know what I mean?
Can we talk? I know you've got a lot on your plate. You've got work, you've got friends, you've got family, pets. You've got the people that you make small talk with at the coffee shop or gym. You've got that bird that you see when you wake up every morning outside your window that you've projected things onto. Look at that bird. Doesn't even love its family. It's always by itself. You do that. Everyone does that. Point is, you've got a lot on your plate. Well, that's why there's Instacart, to take a little bit off your plate. Using Instacart, you search for all your favorite foods and things that you need from the grocery store, all online, all while you're looking at that bird, wondering why it hasn't called its mom. And they deliver it to you. They go to the store and do the shopping for you. And they can deliver it in as fast as an hour. And you can sign up by clicking the link in the description, wherever you're listening or watching. And that's a great way of supporting the show. So it's a great way of supporting this show. It's a great way to make your life a little bit easier, because we all know that you have so much going on, like wondering whether that bird judges you back.
Like, there's a lot of stray cats in my community, and not once have I said, you know what? That feline over there looks a little backed up, so let me...
Yeah. But you're right. I remember growing up and like trying to do like stupid shit on the sidewalk, right? Like walking up to people, like Tom Green-esque stuff. Like, so you do like idolize him for being just provocative in that sense, being crazy, right? And it just brings you back to being like fucking 12 and trying to say weird shit to people on the street and get a reaction. Because that's what it is. He's just trying to get a reaction, right?
Yes, like it's all reaction.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it really is. Like, Tom Green is with Tom Green, you're going to do either one or two things. Mm-hmm. You're going to go, oh, or you're going to go, what the fuck? 98.2% of the time is what the fuck.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like Hollywood, in a sense, sort of kind of blackballed him in a sense. I feel like he was a little bit too much for Hollywood. Tom Green would be perfect for now.
Yeah.
But also, he would have got canceled. So as quick as he would have came back, he would have got canceled. Like, if he came back on Tuesday, he's getting canceled on Friday. Like, you understand? Like,
I wonder what he's doing. He's got to be doing like stand-up or something like that now.
Probably, like, you know what I mean?
He's probably got fans.
Oh, yeah, he definitely does have fans. Like, me and you are fans. Like, we're talking about Freddy Got Fingered. So, like, he definitely has fans.
Yeah.
But the climate and the way things are today with the industry and everybody being so sensitive, a lot of that wouldn't have flown today. Like,
no, not at all.
But there is a silver lining in this movie.
Let's hear it.
The silver lining of Freddy Got Fingered is this is a man, 28 years old, trying to pursue his dream of being a cartoonist.
Mm-hmm.
Going into California, failing, coming back home, failing even more, and going back to actually achieving that.
Yeah.
So, through all the dick jokes, through all the horse jerking and bone breaking, blood splatter, don't give up on your dreams, kids.
Yeah. It's like Rocky for morons, you know?
Right. Wow. I never thought of that. Rocky for morons. Like,
yeah.
And it really, really makes you think, because like me and you are creative guys, like me and you do content. So like we've all been through that phase in our life where like people are telling us to get real jobs and shit. It definitely stands true to what his character was pushing. Like, no, I'm going to work all these odd jobs, but I'm also going to pursue my dream.
Right. Yeah, it's a good message. I mean, but you also not giving up on like when a creative idea isn't like perfect off the fucking jump. Some people give up. It's like an idea is never perfect on delivery, right? It's like it needs to be honed and refined, and eventually over time it becomes passable.
Absolutely. And that's what I got, you know, through it all. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to cipher through a lot with Tom Green to get to the message.
Yeah. But it's
like going through a dirty closet to find your one good pair of sneakers.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, look at all these ugly Christmas sweaters.
Why do I still have that? Yeah.
Right. It is just like, okay, I finally got it.
I'm never going to go skiing again. Why do I keep these skis? Like, it's just, yeah, there's just a bunch of crap in there.
Bunch of crap until you find what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And I think we found what we're looking for with Freddy.
Nice. Way to put a nice little button on it there to bring it back to decency.
Right. Through the absurdity, there is decency.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, why do you think it's so, like, it can be so embarrassing to admit to liking a movie that a lot of people hate? Like, why do you think that it's like, to me, it feels like you're putting your like cool points on me, which makes, saying cool points shows how cool I am. But right, you're putting your like cool resume or legacy on the line by admitting to something like that.
Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because we live in a society where we feed off of other people's opinions and what they think. Like, for example, if I was to go outside with this outfit, my girlfriend would tell me, babe, take off the hat because I don't like the hat. I personally like that.
I complimented you the second I saw it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, we're so fixated on what other people think that, like, we'll like something and genuinely like something, but just because 1,000 other people don't like it, we'll jump on the bandwagon of, oh, I don't like it. Like, for example, I know hundreds of people that like pineapple on pizza, but they will get on Facebook and be like, oh, pineapple on pizza is disgusting, just to be a part of the conversation.
I love pineapple on the pizza. On the pizza. I don't know why I said it like that.
You know what I mean? So, like, if you like what you like what you like. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Life is short. Just like what you like and relax. Right.
Right. So Freddy Got Fingered is one of those films that I like. But, you know, as an adult, like when you watch something at 16, again, like when you watch something at 16, this is the most epic thing you ever seen. It's funny. But when you're 34, you paid a couple bills, you know what I mean? Like life hits you in your head. Jerking off a horse isn't funny. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, Tom, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
yeah, exactly. It's almost like he's like, Tom Green is like your imaginary friend. And with every bill you pay, you take one step away from him and another and another until he doesn't exist anymore.
Right. Like, he's like the comedy Freddy Krueger. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the more you get through life, Tom Green just fades in your mind. Like,
if you don't believe in Tom Green, he can't get you.
Right. If you don't believe in Tom Green, he won't affect you. Yes.
Today's episode is sponsored by My Software Tutor. Can Excel be my friend? Do you want a new friend? Thinking about making new friends both makes me excited and sad. So it can be hard to make friends as you get older. And so I feel like sometimes you get surrounded by people. It's like, yeah, I guess we're friends. But also, if you truly connect with someone, you can make new friends as an adult. On both sides of the fence here. So Excel can be your friend, or it could be surrounding you. That's just probably because you don't know it that well. Many people, I've deviated so far from the copy. Let me get back to it. Can Excel be my friend? Many people have wondered this for years. The answer is, yes, it can. That was so much shorter than where I was going with it. All right, let's talk about My Software Tutor. They offer 3 levels of real-time Zoom-based courses with a live instructor. They all deliver practical, functional business skills in a friendly, supportive environment. That sounds nice. I mean, it could be so daunting to learn Excel or make friends. These courses will increase your marketability, whether you're an employee, job seeker, consultant, or contractor. That sounds pretty good. Register at mysoftwaretutor.com and use the promo code POD20 to save. And use the promo code POD20 to save 20% off all registrations.
It's one of those films that you're just like, Freddy got fingered. And then just the title alone is just like sus as fuck too. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, and then let's talk about that. You know, it's kind of fucked up. And like, Tom had it with his dad, Rip Torn, and accused his father of fingering his brother Freddy.
And that comes in almost 3/4 of the movie in. It's like, you know, there's no like incited. You think it's one thing, and then like this other storyline comes in like so much later. It's just, the structure is crazy.
I could pretty much tell you how that happened too. Like, so like, I'm pretty sure the studio was like, Tom, this movie makes no fucking sense. It has no story. Yeah. And then 40 pages in, Tom is like, fuck it, Dad, I'm going to accuse you of molesting our little brother. Like,
yeah.
It went from absurd comedy to a drama like in 2.2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like
what? Yeah.
And then right, poor Freddy, 25, being escorted out of his home by the police and put into like a child services home, a group home, and he's surrounded by like 12-year-old kids. Like, it's okay, like your secret is safe with us. And he's like, dude, there's no fucking secret. My dad never touched you.
Right, mine neither.
Out of all the lies he could have told on his dad, you know, as a grown man at that, like, you chose the touchy, like, no pun intended, the touchy.
Right, like the least funny thing. Yeah.
Like, especially with all this stuff going on in like Hollywood with the whole touchy stuff and the you went with that.
Right, definitely would be like, nobody wants to watch a show about people touching kids unless it's that fucking Chris Hansen show, but that's where he was catching those people. Do you remember that show?
Oh yes, To Catch a Predator. Like,
yeah, that was fucking awesome. Just because. And
what made To Catch a Predator so funny? I mean, not funny, but just like when Chris Hansen catches him, Super Cat 222. Did you not tell Jane 82-4 that you wanted to lick her butthole?
Right.
And then the person is just sitting there like, did I? Bro, you know what you wrote.
You know what you wrote. And they're all like defeated, like a kid who didn't have their homework in school, just drooping down like, yeah, I said it.
But my favorites are the guys that think that they're thinking on their feet. Chris Hansen comes out, oh, I know who you are. I just wanted to see if this was real.
Yeah.
Oh, it's real, bro.
Yeah, it's very
you're going
real.
to real jail too.
And you just lost your job.
Right.
But yeah.
You can't take your kids to school now. Congratulations.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. Well, the second movie, Bubble Boy, which is the one Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah. Had you seen that before doing your homework for this?
Absolutely. Like, I've seen them both. So like, I just had to go through it and just skim through the films to get it fresh, but I've definitely seen them both. Yeah.
Okay. For people who don't know, it's like Jake Gyllenhaal's this kid in a bubble, falls in love with the girl next door, and then it's like a road trip movie of like trying to get to her to break up the wedding so that he can get with her, and just like hijinks, right? I feel like that's the word. for
Right.
this, just like hijinks get in the way. And I just liked it because it was like very silly and like upbeat. There definitely were a few parts watching it this time that like off-color jokes, like the R word was in there, and I was like, "Whoa, you wouldn't say that now."
Right.
But
Right.
overall, I think the jokes, although they were like off-color, were making fun of people who talk like that. But it's still not language that we want in today's society. Yeah. But yeah, it was funny. It's light, What did you think?
Well, like always, can we take time to appreciate Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I had a conversation with my friend, and he's going to sit here and tell me Jake Gyllenhaal is not an A-list actor. He's a C-list actor.
See?
I said, wait, first
No.
off, don't you ever in your life disrespect Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal is an A-list actor.
Titus, this person is not your friend.
And it's clear and evident he smokes crack as well. Like,
Yeah.
Like, Jake Gyllenhaal is an A-list actor.
Yeah.
So this film, much like the Tom Green film that we just spoke on, if you get through all the stupidity, the jokes and stuff like that, this is a film about a boy and his mom that was trying to shelter him from the evils of the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Putting him in a bubble, a real life one too, not like something
a metaphorical bubble.
Word.
Yeah.
Like, she really put him in a plastic bubble.
Yeah.
We've grown up with our mothers or fathers or whoever took care of us, and they try to shelter us from certain things.
Mm.
So I took from it, like, you can't protect your kids from everything. You know what I mean? Like, your kids have to explore the world, and that's what our guy Jake Gyllenhaal did in this film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Explore the world while chasing love.
Hey, man, I love that you watch movies with like you're like looking through for like the through line or like the lesson, or
Right.
You're like Mr. Rogers coming together, like, sit down, kids, let's talk about the lesson.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Put on the hat, put on the shirt,
throw
the earrings. I can't talk about movies without my earrings. I gotta talk about it.
Yeah.
Good Casio watch. You gotta put the Casio on when you're talking about movies.
Nice.
Great cameos.
Yeah.
Like Vern Troyer.
Yeah. Mini me for people who are about our age or younger and don't know who Vern Troyer is. The guy from Machete.
Yes. Danny Trejo.
Trejo. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, he's in this film. So there's a lot of great actors in this film. Like, what is it about stupid, absurd comedies that get all these great actors? Like, I feel like Hollywood be owing these guys like deals and stuff like that. Be like, yo, please just take this. Like, we'll make it up to you.
It's like, got to be that it's like a fun day on set, right? Like, if you're playing, in a period piece and you got to like wear like a heavy costume and you're hot versus, I don't know, just kind of show up and make some jokes and go to the craft services table and
you know what? That's how I feel like a lot of these comedy films like these are made. Danny Trejo just stumbled on set and was like, they asked him, like, yo, Danny, you got like 2 days to shoot a couple of scenes? And he said, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've actually heard stories like that, actors stumbling on sets. They be like, yo, like, can I be in this film for like a hot second? And then they'll write them in like a little quick scene. And now he's in a film. So
that's especially true. Like, I don't know if you heard in the latest 3 Star Wars, like how many big name actors and actresses just wanted to be stormtroopers so they can like hang out on the set. So you would never know it's them, but because they have the full, white helmet thing. Yeah. Like, who's the guy who played James Bond? His name is escaping me. Daniel Craig played a stormtrooper in the last movie just because he wanted to hang out and be there.
And that's not a bad job either, to be a stormtrooper. Star Wars franchise, one of the biggest franchises on the planet. Like, everything works out. You stumble on, hey, can I get a part? Guess what? Now you're part of Star Wars canon.
That's exactly. Hey, that's how it starts, right? And then we find out that guy turns into like the James Bond of stormtroopers or something. I don't know. I'm spitting out ideas here.
Word, yo, Hollywood. Hey, Pat got some ideas.
wish you were one of those thoughtful card people, but don't have the time or energy? I don't know why I did bunny ears on that. Or maybe you had a personal assistant. I like to pretend sometimes when I'm running errands that I am my own person. I make up games in my head. I might be revealing too much about myself. But you don't need to pretend to be your own personal assistant, at least when it comes to cards. Because the Cardist Studio is your personal assistant. Let's set up a situation. You think, oh, I should send them a card. But things get in the way. You're busy. All you'd have to do is jump onto thecardiststudio.com and tell them exactly what just popped in your head and why. And you'll get credit for your thoughtfulness. Here's what they'll do with that information. They'll get your personalized message handwritten into the card and into the mail for you. And you don't have to save space in your brain for this character that you've created as a made-up personal assistant. This bit is really getting off the rails. It's fast, it's custom, and it's a total life changer. Hey, you are a thoughtful card person now. Thecardiststudio.com. Thoughtful. Just got easy. And you can use the promo code AnxietyPod for 10% off your orders.
Nah, but like this film, silly. Definitely nowhere near as silly as Freddy Got Fingered.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this film is more contained comedy. Like, you know what I mean? Traditional
Slapstick.
push the envelope comedy.
Yeah.
I like comedy that pushes the envelope. I like a good joke. I like a good joke that's kind of like at the edge, like not falling off the table, off the edge, but just at the edge. Like it's almost like a cat when it pushes things off the table.
Yeah.
That's how you need the right comedy, like a
Yeah.
cat.
It's fun to try to find the edge. Yeah.
Right. And not too much over the edge. Because like one thing about me, when I write like this. If I find it crazy, I'm not gonna write it. Like I'm like, whoa, now even now I'm offended. Then that's how I know it's super offensive.
Well, it's good. That means you got a high level of emotional intelligence to be able to perceive others, right? I feel like a lot of people out there are like, why is anyone offended? I'm never offended. Like people are
and it's just so
uptight.
weird. It's just so weird that like, for example, let's take South Park for example. South Park has been on TV for like, wow, almost like
before 2000, because I was in elementary school when it came out. Yeah. Like 96, 97, something like that.
Absolutely. So like everybody finds South Park funny and still they start talking about them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're talking about the Catholics, they're talking about this, they're talking about that. But the minute they start talking about the Christians, it's no longer funny.
Right. Seriously, it's funnier to watch the Mormon shit, but then they start talking about your group, and like it's like, oh, cancer's not funny or whatever the example is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like you can't be that way with comedy. Like if you're going to find something offensive, then like you need to find it all the way offensive.
Right. Yeah.
Like you can't pick and choose the offense, if that makes sense.
Just because it matters to you. Yeah. Seriously. I feel like I've heard a bunch of stand-up comics even recently say that if you're going to be offended, you have to be offended by all of it.
Right. Like, and
that's the deal with the audience.
It takes you back to that slap that Chris Rock took from Will. Like, you know what I mean? Comedy is comedy. Like, you know what I mean? And then let's talk about that for a quick second. The joke wasn't even all that offensive. Not
in the slightest. It's like something you say in like an elevator when you're passing by somebody, right? It's just more like a, sure, okay, completely like throwaway like humor, right? I wouldn't even say like funny. It's just humor.
So for Will to take it to where he took it, I sort of kind of like, if Will Smith was up here with me, he dropped down. I'm like, come on, dude. Come on, bro.
Especially because it's like Chris Rock. Like, what's he ever done to anybody? It's like everybody loves Chris Rock.
Everybody loves Chris. But that night, everybody hated him. Like, you know what I mean? No pun intended. You know what I mean? Everybody hated Chris that night.
Yeah, seriously.
Especially Will. Keep my wife name out your fucking mouth.
Yeah, like, oh man, come on, Will.
And of all places, the Oscars, like there's not a big ass backstage. Like if you felt the need to smack him, you could have easily waited till he got off stage or moved to the side. Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Get him in the parking lot or something. Yeah.
Right. Comedy, like I feel like comedy today is just like so, everybody's so afraid to like speak their mind and stuff like that. Like that's why I respect the guys who just go balls out and just say what they need to say and don't fear the repercussions. Comedy is comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard white comedians say black jokes that were kind of offensive, but also very funny.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm one of those guys that's like, holy shit, that was offensive as hell, but also very funny and very creative. At least if you're gonna offend somebody, at the very least, be creative.
Right. And you can also, I feel like you can generally tell when someone's like just saying something to like poke you and like not saying it with like malice in their heart, right? Like they're saying it in like a joking tone. It's completely different than like you could tell just by how people deliver jokes that like it's not really a joke to them, right? That they're just being an asshole.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Like you can definitely tell when something is a joke against somebody just really trying to hurt you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I feel like a lot of comedians don't have the intent to hurt people. Like comedy is supposed to make you uptight. Like it's supposed to make you laugh at your flaws.
Right. And also feel a little shock, right? It's like you feel alive doing that.
Absolutely. Like there's nothing wrong with poking fun at something that's not necessarily funny, depending on what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, if I was a stand-up comedian, which a lot of my friends over the years have told me, Titus, you need to do stand-up because you're a very funny person. Just in conversation alone, like I be having people cracking up, which I don't mean to, just the way I say certain things.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing I will not make fun of is like much like the Tom Green stuff, like touching kids and stuff like that. That's where I draw the line. Things like that. I just feel like I need to take a shower just talking about that. Like
it's tough to make funny, yeah. But I there's got to be a way to. I don't know. Not that it's like I'm advocating for it, but I like the idea of everything being on the table, and as long as you're using the top of your intelligence, there's probably a way. But yeah, you're right. That's got to be fucking next to impossible to make funny.
Yeah.
The only way to do it is to make fun of the people who do it. Right. Yeah. Like we were talking about. Yeah.
Please make fun of R. Kelly to the day he dies. Please.
Yeah. Seriously.
And they gave him some time. I think they need to give him 30 more years on top of the 30 that they gave him.
Seriously. Yeah. He can hang in there for a while.
Word. If I go to a cookout, because you know R. Kelly is a very popular R&B singer in my African-American demographic. Like, so like
well, his songs are fucking awesome. Yeah.
Word. Like if I go to a cookout and I hear R. Kelly song, I'm not gonna be like, oh, turn that off, da 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 da. But in my house, there's no Robert Kelly playing in my house. Like
same with Michael Jackson. It's like if it's out and it sucks because it's fucking Michael Jackson. How many fucking hits does he have? But when we don't play him here, like, well, if he's on at a bar, it's just like we'll like groan and be like, oh man, it's just like it makes you sick to think about like the crazy stuff he did.
Most like, and it's so crazy. It's always the talented ones. Mm-hmm. It's always the talented ones that do the most absurd shit.
Yeah.
And somebody told me, oh, you don't listen to R. Kelly, but you listen to Tory Lanez. And I go, wait, okay, first off, two different things. In any world, there might be a plausible reason why you might have to shoot somebody in the foot.
It's true.
Self-defense. Like you're not trying to kill the person, so you shoot them in the foot.
Yeah.
But there is nothing on this world and the next world, in an alternate world, that you can tell me that justifies, oh, you might have to pee on an underage girl.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's literally nothing you can say.
Yeah. So jellyfish stings aside, yeah.
So when I break it down to people like that, they go, you know what, Titus? It's fucked up, but you're kind of right. I'm like, yo, listen. And even with that whole Tory Lanez situation, I don't even think he really even shot Shorty in the foot. But hey, I wasn't there, so I can't really speak on that.
Right. We're just reading shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So these absurd comedies that we both watch, they were great for their time. Yeah. Well, not great, because like most of these films grow to be cult films, totally suck, bomb at the box office. But as generations get older and show them to their kids, and then that fan base grows and stuff like that,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
quote
classic
fucking pose.
movie. Like your parents would show you movies from their era, and I remember being like, "This isn't funny." Like, I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but I remember my dad being like, "Oh, you're gonna love this shit. It's so funny," and then like it going on and being like, "I don't
No, Dad, like
know."
this is not funny. Like, for example, like I hate to be the guy that says this, and I'm going to let the people know. If you're going to know anything about Titus, you're going to know this about me. I'm a screenwriter. I'm from NYC, and I don't think Friends is funny. I've tried it. I've tried to watch Friends several times, and it just like I don't get it. I don't see the humor in Friends. Like, and people just think I'm crazy. I'm like, how am I crazy? I just don't find the show funny. If you find the show funny, then that's you. Like,
Yeah.
I've sat there and watched Friends like I was at the front row of my grandmother's funeral with a straight face about to shed tears. Like, I don't, it's just like, and there I'm looking around because I'm seeing people dying laughing around me, and I'm like, am I missing something here? Like, what am I missing?
Yeah. What's funny? Like as a kid, I felt the same way. I was just like, and my beef was like the male characters just seem like such like wieners. They're just like so
Word,
like
like,
they're just like so fucking soft that it bugged me. Now I'm a little bit older. I've laughed. I got a chuckle out of it. I think it's just like more like you're drinking Diet Pepsi. It's just there's like a little something in there, not a lot of calories, right?
right,
It's just easy watching.
word. It's like Kool-Aid without the sugar. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
Sure.
I guess I'll drink it. I'm thirsty. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I don't feel
Like,
like
I
thinking
guess.
or moving or doing, just staring. And
Word.
yeah.
But there's several things that I'd rather watch than watch Friends. Like
Yeah.
paint dry,
Sure.
a
Pay some
car
bills.
wash.
Yeah.
There's nothing like scrubbing some car windows. That's
Yeah.
funnier than Friends. I'll tell you that. But I think it all really matters about the person.
hmm
What do you find funny?
Yeah.
There's certain things that I just don't find funny. Somebody will be running to the bus and slip on some ice. Some people will find that funny. I don't find that stuff funny because that person could have got hurt.
It's too real. We've all been there, right? It's like you're late, you're having a shitty morning, you're sweating too much in your business clothes.
Right.
And like and then now you've got a hurt hip.
60-year-old hip. You're 25 with a 60-year-old hip for the day. Like, it
Yeah.
happens. I feel like we need to get back with comedy at a place where it's like, everybody ease up. It's just jokes.
Amen. Amen. Well, I think that's a great button for this episode. Ease up. It's just jokes. That's the last R through line of today's episode. Titus, it's
Right.
been so fun hanging out with you and shooting the shit here.
Right.
You want to tell the
Same, Pat.
people your social media and where they can get a hold of you?
Guys, you can find me on Instagram. I am Titus Peoples. You can type in Titus Peoples and I'll pop right up. All social media, Titus Peoples. Like I'm one of one. Like there's nobody named Titus.
Yeah.
So
you don't have a
definitely
Jones last name like mine. It's just
right. Like and yes, people, that is my real name. Titus Peoples is my real name.
That's a great name. I love it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, awesome, man. Awesome hanging out with you. And well, I'll give away to the audience that we're going to be doing a second episode. So if you like this one, there's going to be more.
It's going to be more. And guess what? Might have a new hat on.
Ooh. God, I cringed so much watching Freddy Got Fingered. Wanted to watch these movies just to have it refreshed and to be able to talk about it, but holy jeez. Well, thank you so much to Titus. It was a lot of fun joking around, and yeah, we already have a second episode of this concept in the can, I guess they say. Just waiting to be edited and then released. Before I get to the weird thing that was giving me anxiety this week, I just want to remind you of my other podcast called Death Space Filling the Void. You can check it out wherever you get your podcasts. A reminder of the Buy Me a Coffee link. It's where you can make a donation to the show of whatever size you want. Always, greatly appreciated. If you want to sign up for Instacart, get home delivery of groceries, you can do so through the link in the description. Ever since I made a big deal about description a few episodes ago, I'm nailing it. Then there's My Software Tutor offering the promo code POD20. And the Curtis Studio, who's offering the promo code AnxietyPod for 10% off your orders. So yeah, trying to imagine what's going to be causing me anxiety because, I'm recording this 2 weeks before this is going to come out. But I think it's going to be the sudden amount of human interaction that'll be causing me anxiety. I mean, I work from home. Suddenly we'll be around a bunch of coworkers. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm frankly looking forward to that. But the other side of that coin is like, I think small talk is a muscle, right? I'm certainly out of practice on the level that you need, or I have been going to the office every day, in the past before I started working from home. So I'm sure I'll have a moment where I'll just need to go for a walk or hide. Well, as always, thank you so much for listening. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you on Thursday.